Welcome back to Nuclear Bunker Living. On today's episode, we're taking you all back into the personnel tunnels to show you a bunch of stuff that we have never shown before. These places within our complex have been abandoned for almost 60 years. We're going back today to take a look at the condition and see what we're going to be doing moving forward.
In the empty valley, they built a giant, and they gave it the name of a giant in Greek mythology, Titan.
Welcome back to Nuclear Bunker Living, and man, it has been a wild week. So we posted a video on Instagram that went viral this past week, and it racked up over 1 million views, and it still is going up. We literally went from 417 followers to 44,000 and counting by the minute. We are beyond elated that this actually happened because we have so much new flow to the channel. We're super stoked. We have so much to tell you all about. But this is to all the people that are old and new. Thank you so much for all the support. And all the new subscribers, welcome to Nuclear Bunker Living. So most of you know that we've been showing you a bunch of work that we've been doing downstairs within our Titan 1 complex, but there is still loads and loads of work to do up top. So this past week we kind of set out to start categorizing everything, but as nature would have it, snow came in, and as the winter months are out here, they're pretty brutal, so we decided to head back downstairs to overview a bunch of stuff for you all this week.
These places are mind-blowing.
So as many of you know, we've been steady at miscellaneous work throughout this Titan for the past year and a half. Whether if it be any part of demo, abatements, miscellaneous cleanup, welding, or anything that the Titan may need, we have been steady at it and have been focusing purely on that to get this back to a clean slate. Now, most of all this work that we've been actually doing is located at the front end of our Titan 1 missile complex. That is including the elevator shaft, the main lobby, the power dome, and the control dome. So this week's episode, we are going to give you a full overview of what we have actually been working on and what we have and what's to come. So first up, we're going to step into the power dome. In my own personal opinion, I would say that the power dome is probably actually the biggest mountain that we have to climb when it comes down to cleaning. We've truly been able to barely nick the surface of what there is to do within this power dome. The very fact of the matter is that this power dome is filled with massive generators, regulating systems, water chillers, insulated piping, and a slew of other inner workings. No wonder why this place is going to take a massive effort to be able to clean up. And next up, we're gonna go across the hallway in the lobby into the control dome. Now, out of all the work that Pat and his crew have done, in the control dome, you absolutely see the biggest transformation. Also, this is where our temporary museum is located. It's been wild finding all these artifacts almost every single week. we just keep adding and adding. And another reason why we chose to put up our temporary museum in the control dome is to pay respect for the missileers that had to endure high stress levels during the peak of nuclear war conflict between the Soviet Union and Cuba during the missile crisis.
The Titans stand ready to bring retaliatory action against any aggressor.
Now we are going to head down, coming out of the control dome, into the antenna tunnels and the antenna silos. Headed down this super long tunnel, the only thing that's really left are piping and just the framework for the cable trays. Now, out of all the other buildings that actually exist within this complex, these two antenna silos will be probably one of the easiest areas to clean. There's virtually barely any piping left or any other miscellaneous products that were left due to the scrapping that happened back when these places were decommissioned.
What are you?
We're lucky at our complex though, because our catwalk is still intact in the antenna silos, and also is the framework that held the hydraulic that pushed up and down the antennas that communicated with the missiles after launch. Eventually, these antenna silos will be attacked and be remediated and cleaned of all asbestos or any other known contaminants. So after all the work that has been done in the power dome, in the control dome, in the elevator shaft, we are now ready to take you all back into the blast locks where the nuclear missiles used to actually be. So the drone fly-through that you just watched is literally just a fraction of all the tunnels to run in all the other buildings that are behind these blast lock doors in each one of the launchers. Now, these particular areas in our complex have been decaying for about 60 years, so they are definitely in a lot worse shape than the rehabilitation that we have actually started to make way on up at the front of our complex. So one building we haven't talked about all that much, and that being the launcher air filtration building. This building has two entrances, one that we actually gained access to start filming this docu-series about a year and a half ago. So the air filtration facility is absolutely filled with relics, blueprints, and other miscellaneous things that we will be carefully extracting and be putting it into our museum here pretty shortly. Fun fact about this building too also is that it is not connected to the main tunnels that the personnel was using when this place was active. It actually sits above the entrances into Launcher 2 and Launcher 3. As we keep pushing further back into the complex to start cleaning, this building absolutely needs to get remediated and cleaned thoroughly before any renovations begin. The extensive tunnel system contained hundreds of feet of various sized tunnels ranging from small diameter ducts to a 15-foot diameter causeway. Most personnel tunnels are about 40 feet below ground level. And for the unfortunate few, they get stuck down in the complex to never see the light of day again. So as we lead you further throughout our complex, through our personnel tunnels, you can clearly see that most of everything is scrapped out of them. All these personnel tunnels lead to propellant terminals, missile silos, and equipment buildings. Each launcher has a set of their own. Now, all three propellant terminals are all in different states of decay, each one of them needing their own individualistic repair and cleanup. It might seem that these personnel tunnels are absolutely in terrible condition, but relatively speaking, they're actually in great condition. Comparative to other sites that we have visited before, these are actually structurally intact. Now, besides the power dome being one of the hardest mountains to climb, I do believe that these missile silos are absolutely going to take every effort that we can muster up. Now, each one of these nuclear missile silos stand at 156 feet tall. When we gained access to our complex, they were actually all flooded all the way up to the personnel tunnel workshop I'm standing at currently right now. So here's your doors again. See, this one's a lot more corroded. Very much so. So out of all the missile silos that we've actually explored inside of our complex, the only one that we've done work to is silo number 3. The water was clean enough for us to allocate that water from our silo into other parts of our complex, exposing a tunnel that actually went from the silo into the equipment room, which we will hold off on because we have some exciting news of what we're going to be transforming the equipment room in launcher area number 3 next week. So stay tuned. Thank you so much also for the continued support from our old community members, and welcome to everybody that came in here from the viral video. We can't even believe this is happening right now, but we are absolutely just getting started. We have a feature film coming out. We have another drone movie coming. There is so much to share with you all, and we are so happy that you are along with us on this ride. Exit here, over and out. Nuclear Bunker Living.